All right, guys, welcome back to the Star Trek show. We like to call it Star Trek United because we have a space station that was named United. And part of the Proud Warriors of Kronos, which is a Facebook group here that celebrates everything all Klingons, hence the intro. Joining me today is the crew from the USS Victory, Commander Xena, my first officer, Jedi Joe, my Klingon operations officer, and of course, my helmsman, Mr. Rob Ash. Um, Barring what we already know, let's just throw this out there. There is a petition to save Starfleet Academy. Now, I said on this show, so you don't think I'm just a hater, that if you want to save this thing, you got to get out there and you got to watch. I saw a YouTuber, excuse me, a TikToker saying, "Oh, the haters would like you to believe that no one was watching the show. We were watching the show, but not enough of you were watching to make it matter. Or you wouldn't have got canceled." That's the truth. It's not to be mean. It's not to say that it was a bad show. Enough people weren't watching or they wouldn't have canceled it. Now, you want to fix that problem? Go back and binge watch that show. Binge watch the hell out of that show. Keep it running on your damn TV, iPhone, whatever you got that can stream it. Push your numbers up. That's how you save that show. I'm rooting for you. I love a good underdog. I was rooting for the Snyderverse, and I got a Snyderverse cut. So I'm rooting for you guys. If you want to save your show, binge watch the hell of it. Save Ferris. And my intelligence officer, Marky Mark, save Ferris. Guys, again, this is your show. If you want to save it, that's the way to do it. You're going to have to show them that people are really watching it. And the only way to do that is to binge watch this thing and push it out there. Get it out there. But we're going to switch gears and go back into something kind of safe and wonderful. Sorta.
I don't know how safe it could be these two episodes.
I agree. So, the schizoid man. Um, it took me a minute to remember this episode, and when I did, I just it wasn't. Oh, look, our troll's back. It's Dexter, Mr. Dexter. Um, it wasn't as fondly as I remember the episode. Maybe even back then I was kind of like, lackluster. The comment, the whole episode. Rob and I were kind of talking about it beforehand. Commander, your assessment.
I
Show.
mean, when I saw the guest star, I vaguely remember the episode. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I thought it was. I mean, it was okay. Kind of weird. That he wanted to. He was dying, and then he took Data and you know occupied Data's body, and thought it was okay. You know, the young girl that was with him. Okay, we can be together. You know, as I watch it, I started kind of remembering a little bit more of it, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah. Mm. I mean, if it wasn't for this, us reviewing, I don't know. It's not in my top to, ooh, Star Trek is on. Let me see what episode it is. Oh, is that one? And then I would watch something else. That's how I kind of word, this one. You see Data trying to grow, that beard right when it came on. You know, had to do a double take. Maybe he thought it was Riker. I don't know. But it was okay. The guy went on and on about himself, so he was definitely full of it. I would say that. And we cannot hear you. Oh, we can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I was setting up the next shot. The man who watched the show before we asked him to, Jedi Joe.
Well, guys, this is one of my favorite episodes. To be honest with you,
Really?
um, yeah. Well, I I love, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I think they should have did more when Data was looking like Riker. I think that would have been funny. I love the interaction with this other Vulcan. Uh, I think I feel like I've seen her before in another episode or another show or movie, but I felt like she did a great job. And then the next one you guys are going to have to help me with the doctor. I mean, the doctor that's dying and everything. I think he was like the Klingon um, prison leader or something on.
And he was a soul
What,
collector on Babylon 5 too.
Oh.
Aurora Pente. He was the guy on Aurora
yeah,
Pente. Yeah.
Oh,
yes, yeah.
yes.
And you could almost tell his intensity and some of the names that some of the how he voiced himself in that, and you could just tell that Data was just so enthused and almost like wanting to be more human. So again, it was kind of one of my favorite episodes. But when I saw the character and I thought about the Star Trek movie, I was like, I gotta ask the guys. I feel like I'm right on this, so obviously y'all are saying I am. So it was one of my favorite episodes.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hmm.
Rob.
I think this is one of the most cringiest episodes there is. And he is one of my favorite actors. I love everything he does and everything else, but call me grandpa, and the way he was just lusting after that young girl, just creepy.
Well, as an older man, I found it as creepy as you guys did. I don't know. Maybe it's the society that we're in now. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, even back then, when he was, taking over Data, I kept thinking, how does that work? You're not really human. What woman is gonna want you besides Tasha Yar?
That's wrong.
You know what I'm saying? You're basically a big walking dildo.
I didn't see it that way, but okay.
I I I just thought it was an interesting, and we still got Pulaski, so
Mm.
um I don't know. Again though, for me, for me, I would watch this way before I would watch anything else.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Okay. Um I'm sorry, Dexter. Have you not met me? um the episode as a whole, again, I still find it this is Star Trek still trying to find its footing. To be honest with you, it has often been said that Star Trek does not really find its footing until around season 3 or season 4 of every iteration of the show. Um, I kind of agree with that, to be honest with you. I really didn't pick up on this until around the four. I mean, I was watching it, but I didn't really start getting into it until right around the time that Gene Roddenberry died, and they started writing how they really wanted to write. That's when the show kind of took off to me, and then it just really was like, ooh, Star Trek is on. I want to watch this, and DS9, which is one of my favorite shows, but again, when Worf steps aboard DS9, oh, okay, DS9. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, I'm good. And then I went back and I watched the beginning 3 episodes, which I really got into, but it wasn't until Worf stepped on that station that I liked it. Voyager took me a while to just even get into, but again, they had some great Klingon episodes. I love Janeway. It's just something about her style of command that I really liked. Um,
Voyager lost me when Paris and Janeway had the babies.
We don't even, let's not talk about that episode. Let's not talk about that episode. That was a very bad episode. But we all remember it though.
I didn't until he said something.
Oh, those lizards.
And they just left them
Now,
behind on that planet too.
Yeah, they did.
stop!
They had more
Oh
babies.
my God, the trauma you just gave me. The trauma. The trauma. Rob, I just threw up in my mouth a little. Dexter. Oh my God. So again, yes, that did happen. Uh, so overall, the Schizoid Man out of 5 stars gets what from you? 3.
Mm, 1.5.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I have to give it three and a
Wow.
half. The acting was good,
Mm,
but the story wasn't.
no.
Mm. I'm going to say 2
Oh, okay.
because again, the way I looked at it is he was a walking sex machine, and just
Well,
what I
to know
mean.
him was to love him.
That right?
Well, he kind of already
Well,
was, considering how older he was and how young she was, even before he gets into Data's body.
Yeah. See, now you just really made it creepy, and I must deduct half a star because yeah, that's just not right.
I said
That's just not right.
1.5.
That's just not right. Yeah. Now it's
well,
Go ahead, Jedi Joe.
the point I think that really I liked the most about this was that you saw a returning actor from Star Trek. So, here you saw him in kind of like the original movies, and then you turn around and see him again um, in an episode. So I think that's one of the reasons why I like the show a lot more. It's kind of like how Adam Sandler uses a lot of the same characters and friends and everything. They kind of keep that group together, kind of like all of us, how we kind of do things together and everything. But the relationship with that, and then just that, his here you got somebody that's so serious, but then yet you got somebody that's like, Data, calm yourself. Look at that chick. She's awesome. The two worlds are trying to combine, and yet it's kind of amazing. I think that's why I like the show so much.
Okay.
Muted.
Nope. Can't hear you.
There we go. There we go. So let's move over to the unnatural selection.
Ooh, I got some major problems with this one.
Well, since you started, go ahead.
Now, the one thing I did love was the look we got on Picard's face when the other captain told him how Pulaski had a crush on him and
Huh?
requested him. That look on his face was priceless. But that whole facility should be tried and executed for going against the Eugenics Wars band because they should not have been doing any of those experiments. We
Hmm.
saw that from DS9 that it's still a band, and they
So,
caused the death of a starship.
so, uh, you want them killed, Rob?
Well, wasn't that the thing for breaking the eugenics ban was the only one that was still in the books for deaths now, according to Bajor,
I
Doctor.
yeah, yeah, but I
And
don't
that's
know
what
if
they
we
were
could
doing. They
kill a
were doing
whole.
eugenics testing. That was all they were doing.
Yeah.
And we
Uh,
saw how dangerous it was by what they created.
Yep. That's true. It wasn't intentional, but
so, Commander, you agree with killing a whole room full of scientists?
I mean, they didn't officially kill them. At least I mean, of course, you can never
Well, she
leave.
almost killed the Enterprise because she was forcing them to take the kids on board their ship, saying they were clean.
Well, it was Dr. Pulaski, and I do not like her. Every time I see her on screen, I'm like, oh, not that Data is one of my favorite characters, but she totally talked down about Data, and he's not real. And considering you are a doctor in the Federation, and you meet different species, Data, you just need to look at it like that. So I don't like anything she's ever in. However, I do agree that her liking Picard and wanting to go on the ship as much as she did was interesting. I was happy when she left, but yeah, I just don't like her. I just see her up there, and I'll be like, ugh. And no matter how I try to enjoy the episodes with her in, I don't.
Well, we saw our previous captain didn't like her,
Well, he wanted to keep her, but
but he
she
didn't like
really, really, yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not saying she's not smart, and I'm not saying she doesn't do her job well. I'm just
her. She's
saying,
just
I
a jerk.
really, yeah, I don't like her attitude. Especially towards Data. You're a doctor in the Federation. You meet different species and different life forms, and for her just to keep on dogging on him regularly, I'm sick of it. So you know, I I don't like her, and wanting to go, hey, let's bring the child here, and they're like, I don't know, I am kind of glad she went on the shuttle, with Data, but even with her there and him there, she still talked down about Data. He's there with you, but that's just her character, I guess, in the show.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Jedi Joe, your thoughts?
Well, guys, I like to start off with just the show itself. It wasn't really my favorite show, but what I enjoyed or what I seem to have learned is that each officer or each member of that team or who's on the bridge, I like how they're able to offer suggestions what they should do and not do. Say, for example, Worf would say something like, "Sir, I recommend raising the shields," or someone saying this, that, the other. And what I like is the captain either determines that it's a good choice, or either he'll say stand down or whatever. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm so used to certain sci-fi shows. You got one voice and everybody does what is told that they're supposed to do. Where Star Trek, it seems like it's more of a team, and everybody is able to put in their input, and then it's basically the final decision is what the captain decides he wants to do. And when I saw the doctor becoming sick and everything, and I know how unpopular she is with this crew right here, I thought to myself, "Oh, great! This is going to make a lot of people happy because now she's going to die." But what re- but what really kind of grabbed me about this episode, and I think hopefully you'll agree with me,
Mhm.
going back to the Star Trek movies, the it looked like at the very beginning where the ship was completely, um, you know, quarantined and everybody was dead. It looked like the USS Reliant from Star Trek Two: The Wrath of Khan. So hopefully I'm probably right about that, but that's what grabbed me about this
Style.
episode. Oh, it
It's a
was.
different. Yep, it's more of a fighter support than a defense because it doesn't have the over top torpedo launchers.
Okay, okay, but it was kind of similar though, right?
Yeah, well, I don't mind the suggestions on the bridge, but what I do mind is when they start just saying stuff out of turn
Yeah.
and standing up and voicing their opinion, and the captain doesn't say anything, and then the first officer is asking the captain to say something. um, it's obvious that the newer writers don't know military protocol, but uh, in the immortal words of James T. Kirk, not on my ship, Mister. I'll ask you for if I want your opinion, I'll ask for it. Other than that, please don't volunteer your words on my bridge
Yeah.
to me unless I ask you for it. But I get that. I mean, there's a fine line, because there'll be where a captain doesn't know what he's doing, or would like some options, maybe something he didn't see, and then he'll be like, "All right, everyone, thoughts?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something like that, which is great, because then, like you said, then he'll make the final decision after everything he's heard. We've seen Picard do that, and they all go back to the little ready room or whatever else. In Star Trek, you see it only now and then, where they're all back in that one little squared room with that weird looking table.
Mhm.
And William Shatner gives one of those historic speeches about why we're out here exploring. Um, yeah, the eugenics things was a bad thing. Look at Rob. Rob's like, yeah, that's right, kill him. Yeah, I don't know if
And I
I
did
agree
like
with the
how
kill him
O'Brien
part.
questioned the doctor when she was going to take the shuttlecraft. Did the captain actually give you permission?
I don't know. Again, I like the episode. I do. I like the episode. Again, though, I am not a big Pulaski fan. Um, Nor am I a huge Data fan, or Wesley. These are my Star Trek pet peeves.
Yeah.
But in the order of Wesley, Data, and Pulaski. Um, I don't
Mhm.
know. I like the episodes, and the reason why you can we were Bishop and I were talking about this, because he's like, why hasn't DS9 been in Blu-ray like Next Generation has and everything else? Because these things were filmed on film,
Yeah.
like actual old movies and stuff. And while the newer stuff was CGI, and they would have to recreate everything, and not enough people buy it. That's a waste of money. We can't do that. So I'm saddened that we probably won't get that, but if you do have them on DVD, cherish them there. At least you still have them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I found my old collection, so when we do our Star Trek stuff, we can always throw a DVD in the on the laptop and let it play like Rob does for his Star Wars stuff. We can let that play as we're at the conventions. What we got here? Yeah. I don't own Voyager. I do own everything else. Do I own DS9? I don't think I own DS9. I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and do that. I think I have to go get the DVDs for DS9. Oh no, no! A friend of mine put it on a service that I can watch it for free. So how do you how do you even play DVDs? There are these things called Xboxes and PlayStations and DVD players. So I have a portable one. Oh, Marky Mark's got a digital copy of DS9.
Well, I do, not Marky Mark.
Oh, excuse me.
I mean, he might have downloaded it, but it doesn't matter. It's mine.
it,
Sorry, y'all.
huh? I hope your subordinate is not talking to you that way, Commander.
That's all right. He'll get it later.
All right, guys, give me your final thoughts on the natural selection. Commander Xena.
I do like it a little bit better than the first show. Even though Pulaski's in it. So I'm gonna give this one a 2.25. I mean, just because I don't like her, mainly just because how she, treated Data, her attitude, I think that just sucks. I do agree with the kids, being on the planet forever. Because I actually came home from work and watched it. I didn't get a chance to watch it yesterday, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, these kids are going to be isolated, and they only can have babies with the few kids that's there, and it's a little depressing. So 2.25. That's it.
Rob.
Um, I'd have to go 3, just because they should have all been court-martialed at the end.
I'm a little frightened of my crew because, see, in the Mirror universe, as the top dog, I feel that everybody would be trying to kill me every time that I stepped either off the bridge or went to the bathroom. Jedi Joe.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to say a 2.0,
Ooh.
and, and I mean, like I said, like some of y'all said, the Doctor is not my most favorite person, and of course, to me it was almost like too serious, very depressing. I'm actually waiting on a Star Trek episode where we see some ship battles. I want to see the Enterprise and some good ship to ship fighting. That's what I really want to see. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. But it's funny you guys say this about certain characters when, like Brett Spiner, me and Scotty, or Lieutenant Commander Scott, and I saw him in person, and I think he says he would rather play a bad guy over a good guy. That's just his nature. Super nice individual. And then, of course, I know Will Wheaton is not one of y'all's favorite. but that man literally took his time, didn't charge my family nothing, and actually had a video call with my kids because they watched The Big Bang Theory. So I mean, maybe that's that little special interest in them and their characters. But yeah, 2.0 for this episode. But my hat's off to Brett Spiner and Will Wheaton. Thank you.
I too give it a two. Oh my god. I do love that big Wheaton. Sheldon. I don't know. I again, these are still the building blocks. Remember, they're coming off of Star Trek TOS. They're finding their own way. Gene Roddenberry is still in control of how these stories are presented and how he wants them presented. But still, these are the stepping stones. These are the stepping stones that are going to get us to where we need to go to make this a better show. You know, so I give it a two. We will be back next in 2 weeks
Mhm.
with what is this? This is seven. So 8 and 9, which are a matter of honor. Oh, we finally start getting into something that I can enjoy. A matter of honor. This is one of my favorite episodes, and we're gonna have to get Mr. Honeycutt back for this one. And a matter of honor and two back-to-back great episodes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a real good episode.
Hmm.
So, in 2 weeks, I am excited. A matter of honor and a measure of a man.
Yeah,
This was a damn good episode.
it was.
Um, I also like it because the JAG officer had the hots for Picard. But this interaction, guys, this is going to be a good show. I will reach out to Mr. Honeycutt and make sure that hopefully he'll be available to join us. Any Victory members are free to join us. Any members of the International Federation of Trekkers, if you're listening, if you're watching, if you want to join us, please. And you out there are more than welcome to sit in with us on a panel as we talk about all things Trek here on Trek United. Jedi Joe, you got anything?
Yes, sir. I know this is non Trek information and everything, but I would like to take a shout out to Dexter. He has been doing a wonderful job with his weight loss. He's looking good. He's has some very inspiring stories and everything. So I'd like to get with him and probably figure out how he's doing some of this stuff, so I might be able to walk in his footsteps. So congratulations to Dexter and his journey and making his life better. So thank you for that opportunity.
Wow. Dexter? Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. No. Guys, we'll be back in 2 weeks. And no, Dexter, that is a great journey for you. I know I was on my journey last year, so keep going, man. We wish you the best. Um, you can't be mean if you're going to kiss my. See, I was trying to, Dexter, but now I'm right back to being mean again. Yeah. But we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Matter of honor, measure of a man. Thank you and good night.